Hi, welcome to Open Tabs, where we'll be sharing three stories taking up space in our tabs, our feeds, and our brains this week. I am Emma, of course, and joined by Melissa and Megan. Hi, guys.
Fresh
Hi.
opening. That was great.
Yeah, let us know if you guys are digging the new opening hook or not. We're testing things out. But a lot to talk about. So let's dive in. At the top, this is not one of our three topics, but honorable mention Love Island USA season 8 starts today. I will be going to see the back rooms and from there straight to a Love Island watch party. So more to come as the season unravels. But I personally could not start this without acknowledging Love Island. Okay, so our first real topic. It's funny, we talk a lot or write a lot about this in our Substack newsletter, but we've never talked about it live on Open Tabs. And that is snail mail and the rise of snail mail clubs. One of our most popular Substack written pieces is Megan's deep dive that she did for us earlier this year into the rise of the trend, snail mail clubs in particular, the creators who are doing it right, and how brands could get into it. So now that we're live, Megan, I wanted to ask, when did you first start seeing this percolate in culture?
I first heard about it from my artist friends. So every 2 years for the past few years, I've been going on a retreat with Sari Schrack, who we've also featured in Empty Deco.
Shout out
Um,
to Sari. We love
we
Sari.
love Sari. And last time it was in the south of France, and there they were talking about, how they make money as artists. And one of the ways that they were talking about artists monetizing that was they were seeing more of was through letters and like just sending people mail. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I love that. And one of the women on that trip, Leah, who has Paris Food Club, then debuted Paris Food Club like later that year. And I was like, this is great. She's doing the thing we talked about. I'm going to subscribe. And after that, I just started seeing it more and more. And then I pitched to you guys like, hey, I think this is really going to be something. And I have a folder on TikTok where I've just saved like hundreds of different snail mail clubs that people are doing. And it's just really cool. And it's only continuing to grow, I feel like, over the past ever since I wrote about Leah in Cool Shiny Culture. I forget when it was, but I'm pretty sure it was like last fall. Yeah.
I have I love this. And I think, again, thank you for bringing it to Empty Deco. And
Yeah.
I think it's been so fun to continue to cover it because it does. I mean, even in my own like consumption of content, like I'm definitely seeing it too. I'm just curious, Megan, also, like, can you just share a little bit about, like, I'm not currently personally subscribed to a snail mail club, but like, what what is the cadence? Like, or I obviously can vary, but like for one that you like, that you are
Yeah.
subscribed to, like, how does it
Well,
work? And like,
I
what's that?
have Becca's right here. So
Okay.
this is our most recent. So Becca, whom Emma said we featured, this
Mhm.
is the one she sent most recently for the month of May. I haven't opened it yet, so I thought we can open it together. And you'll see it's just like a letter, right? And she sends one of these every month. I covered my address so you can't stalk me. But then on the back, it's got her branding. She has her own washi tape. So this is art that she's done, and her brand is Becca Dwyer Design. So she's got the BD, and
So cool.
then we can open it up.
I also, as you're opening it, I just really like the tape that you have that you used to
Yeah.
your address.
I collect washi tapes, so I've got a whole drawer of them.
What kind of washi tape?
Washi tape. Lucy's definitely going to be into this if she's into Japanese stationery.
Yes.
So then you see, and then you get, um, so this is the postcard.
Okay.
It's a pomegranate.
I love
So this is her original art that
that is
she
so
painted.
cool. Okay.
And then on the back, it's a postcard. So you
So
can
you can send it.
send it to someone. And she
Oh,
has there's different tiers to her Patreon. So if you do the higher tier, you get two postcards. So you could keep one and send one to a friend. I'm just being greedy and keeping all of mine. And then in addition, you get an update from Becca. So it's like, here's what she's been up to, what she's been doing. She travels a lot, so she's got her travels. And on the back, it's a update on like what she's been up to.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
And
love
then there's also a sticker.
What a neat way
cute.
to get your like, to your point, like, it
Yeah.
makes so much sense.
And this is $10 and I get this every month. And it's like, this is so fun. It's like, you know how everyone's always looking for dopamine? Like it's so
Mhm.
fun to like find this in your mailbox. Like, oh, cool, you know, and see like what it all is. And she just went to Ireland. So I'm really excited to see what June's is because it's going to be really cool.
Feels like it really evokes that time in your life where you had a pen pal too. You know how that
Mhm.
I don't know what years that is. It's like maybe 10 to like 15, I feel like
Mhm.
is sort of when you it's like you go on vacation to like Florida or somewhere and it's like suddenly you have like a pen pal. I mean, Lucy, I will say Lucy is just finishing today's her last day of kindergarten, you guys. I
Oh,
know, my heart. I'm very weepy. But I had her, they learned about the mail this year and like how it works. And I think that happens like throughout elementary school, just like the idea of how to like write a letter and like it was so cute. I'm very into stationery too, actually, of this really great company that I cannot recommend enough for my mother-in-law's like friend. It's called Gibson 24. And it's cool. Like you can get, I think this is debossed where it's like pressed into like the cardstock.
Oh, cool.
So I buy a ton of it that says Blum. I have it, each of my kids has their own stationery. I have my own stationery, and then I buy this for the family. And so we've run out of theirs because Lucy has written so many letters this year. She keeps ripping through her stationery. Anyway, it was very cute this morning because I was like, you have to write thank you notes. I got little gifts for the teachers for the end of the year. And I was like, you have to write them thank you notes. And so Lucy finished hers and it was in the bag. And she goes, hold on, I have to draw stamps on them. It was the cutest thing. I actually took a picture maybe.
adorable.
It was very cute. Anyway, I mean, I love this idea. Well, what if
I think pen pals are also going to be on the rise. Like I totally see it like Pinterest or Instagram or somebody like that having some sort of feature where they're like, "You want a pen pal?" Like
you see the
very
stamps
cute.
feature
Yep.
in the corner?
Very cute.
Yeah. Pen pals. Okay. I know. Well, what is it? Yeah, I mean, I think like the way you just described it for Becca is so good and such a smart use of it. I will say just the use of the mail and how you do that, I feel like it really has to be additive depending on the brand too. Like, I mean, the people who run Anderson Windows, they just love a snail mail campaign. Like they love to put mail in your box and they do it in a way that they have someone like oftentimes handwriting. So it really deceives you. Like you're like, oh, someone,
Chewy does that. They
yeah,
have a
and
I think they use a Cricut.
interesting. Okay, well, because I mean, it gets me often. Like Anderson Windows is really like, you need new windows, and we do need new windows. Someone has like put us on the radar, but I'm like, this is such a dumb use of money. Like, please stop. But I don't know, it must work. Um,
I
I
think what was interesting and the angle you took, Megan, for like brands when it came to snail mail in the piece was them integrating with creators who are doing and like partnering with creators. I feel like that's the way to do it because it like evokes, and I feel like Gen Z, I know like last week I talked about my journal and like that's something me and my aunt bond over. And just like locally, there's this huge, how would I describe it? It's like a Queens merch and like stationery. It's like an everything store here in Astoria, and they just opened a new location. They have an entire stationery section, and they have like moleskin notebooks, and they were like engraving them. It was, the wait line was over an hour. I stood over an hour in line, and I ran into multiple friends at this place. It was such a huge
That is
event.
you know,
Crazy.
Stefan, when he was like, New York's hottest club. New York's hottest club is a stationery store.
It was insane. I walked in and I was like,
title
"What's going
of
on?"
this page.
Like, what's going on? And then I was like, oh my gosh, all my friends are here. And I was like, and we're all waiting over an hour in line. to get a notebook engraved and like stationery. It was crazy. But I feel like you said, Megan, it's like a dopamine hit and it feels good to like feel the texture of the paper like in your hands. And it reminds me like how Becca is running hers, like the Christmas card or like end of year cards where like people give you updates on like how their year has been. My good friend Riley, she sends me postcards all the time. Her family, they each write a letter updating you on their life in their Christmas card every year. And it's like they take turns writing it. So last year, Riley wrote it, and I think her brother's going to write it this year. But like they update on each family member. And it's something I genuinely look forward to every year. So to get that on a monthly basis from like a creator you care about is very fun.
Yeah, and it's art. I think that that's going to become more of a thing. Like taste signaling is so huge, as is home decor. So like framed art is becoming like a thing as Gen Z's like growing up and getting their own apartments. And so this is a way to build up a unique art collection that maybe nobody else has. And I feel like it's just going to become more and more of a thing. So I think looking to brand should look to this as like a new class of creators that they can tap, like rather than the deliverable being a video, it's some sort of like art piece for a snail mail club.
Oh, well, we will keep tracking this for sure. Hopefully, I
I was
don't.
just gonna also add in, even as you guys are talking,
Yeah,
I mean, these are so human things too. Like
yeah,
these are like distinctly not AI, like snail mail.
yeah.
It's like, yes, it could be AI elements, but like also it is art. Um, and then even hearing Emma talk about like the stationery and the texture and like the touch and feel, it's like it's all like it's very sensory driven, not AI things, which I wonder if that's something people are really craving right now. It's like it's almost just like a direct reflex to like what's happening online and AI slop and like all of the AI taking over. It's like sort of turning to another thing. It's just
100%.
interesting. And we end up always, to Megan's point, larger point always, that we always end up sort of attributing it to nostalgia. And I don't know if it's nostalgia. Like I think it's really just more like a different sensory experience that feels really good when you're like spending a majority of your time on a phone. You know what I mean? Like it feels counter to that. It's like it's maybe why I get so obsessed with grounding and grass because I'm like it's a feeling that I'm not I have to I have to be intentional with experiencing that versus
Mhm.
like it sort of being part of my day to day, you know?
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
feels earned in a way that like no content does nowadays because we can scroll TikTok for infinity and everything is so instant gratification. So there's something about like having to wait a month for a new letter that you just don't get anymore. Like
I
talking
also
I was just gonna say, like, with Love Island, like, having a new episode, like, every day, sometimes like, it's fun for the first week, and then it's like, "Okay, like, I can't." Like, I don't know how fun this is anymore. Whereas, like, one of the shows I'm currently obsessed with now, Widow's Bay, Apple TV, it's like Parks and Rec if it had ghosts. It's very fun. They have the one episode a week system, and it's, like, very fun. Like, new episode comes out tomorrow, and I have that to look forward to tomorrow night. It's, like, very fun to have space to, like, enjoy content.
Yeah, something I've also been thinking a lot about is like collecting and how people are obsessed with collecting right now. And I think part of it is because you can't collect on your phone in a satisfying way that you can collect physical things. Like
Yeah.
the satisfaction I get when I look at my cabinet of Legos is not the same as when I look at my Instagram. As much as they both bring me joy, it's just very different, even though both are collections. And there's something about a physical collection that you can see, feel, and hold that I feel like just it connects more deeply with people than content ever can.
Totally. I was also gonna say to that point, Megan, agree with you. I feel like if I were working at a social media company, I would really look closely at what an archive experience looks like for the users. Like, because now upon years, it's like, it's the same thing with like our iCloud storage and our photos and like all that. Like, there's a real dissatisfaction, at least for me. Like, I'm someone who millennial grew up like if I could scrapbook everything, if I could have a photo book of everything, if I could have the photos on my wall, like I always feel like it's never going to be like enough. And I even feel like the Instagram grid is so unsatisfying. And again, we always harken back to what was it? Instagram
Oh,
guides. We loved guides. And I actually think that Tumblr hit it harder. Like it just felt a little bit more like a website experience, like something where you're building something that you can then look at. And again, same thing we've talked, my Instagram is private, but like the way that I share my stories and my highlights is for a personal archive for myself. So I can go back and it's like a current age like photo albums. Like, you know what I mean? And so anyway, I think that there is something to the archiving and like giving people more peace and solving it as you're existing in life with digital media and real life media. So we'll say that.
I love that. That's a good place to wrap up this topic. But we'll keep, and we're going to be doing a once to watch snail mail creators later this week. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, next topic. This one's interesting. Jay Shetty is leaving YouTube. So Jay Shetty, how would you guys describe Jay Shetty as a content creator? He's a former
I would say
self-help.
self-help. Yeah. He's kind of like the Brene Brown, Mel Robbins type.
Yeah. Self-help, wellness. His shtick is that he lived with monks for a period of time. He has a very big podcast on purpose, and he just signed a joint deal with both Netflix and Spotify, reportedly worth around $100 million. And his podcast will be exclusively streaming on those platforms, no longer available on YouTube. What's interesting is that Netflix will be getting the vodcast and Spotify will only be getting the audio, even though vodcasts are very much a thing on Spotify. So interesting, and wanted to pick your all's brains about him, like leaving YouTube completely.
Yeah, I think this is important because I've been kind of forecasting that this is going to happen to YouTube for a while now, where as all the platforms try to be each other and it's like YouTube, Netflix, and Spotify competing with each other, that the next thing was going to be putting creators behind the various paywalls and kind of like claiming ownership over creators. We've seen a lot and we've talked a lot about people getting reality shows on Netflix. And so to me, this just seems like more of that acquisition behavior kind of happening of like scooping talent from YouTube to put them behind a paywall. And Jay Shetty is a big one because he's like huge in the YouTube space. And also, I feel like huge in the circles of people who write about this stuff. So I think anything he does is going to have like a deeper kind of narrative impact in the industry than maybe it even actually is going to impact actual like audiences and the actual bottom line. So that's why I find it super interesting because YouTube really wants to have this narrative right now of like we're TV, we're movies, we're everything, and we have the young people, but if they're kind of losing creators, that's going to impact that narrative's integrity going forward.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think right now feels like an inflection point in media. And I feel like when you have a creator at the level of Jay Shetty, like where he is in his larger fame, um, I think, you know, it makes me wonder, like, what is his like 3 to 5 year plan? Like, where does he want to be? What does he want to do? Like, I mean, I would think from where he's at, he wants to probably become some sort of household name in a bigger way. He's got, I suspect he has books already. He's really mastered the podcast space. He has cultural relevance, or he's at least aligned himself and his narrative of who he has presented himself as has gotten out there. Like, we think of him as a monk, which I know like this much about him, but like I know he has met with like the Kardashians. Like, I know he's sort of like has been in the circles.
Mhm.
And you know, I think from where he sits, the idea of Netflix is compelling because it has such a big international audience. Like, you can sort of up level your stardom. I'm really excited to see what Netflix does or doesn't do for Alex Earl. Like, I think that that will be really compelling. And I think he's sort of joining in with that. Now, in a year from now, we'll have much more clarity on like what this does, or maybe it doesn't do anything. We don't know. I mean, I think the Paul brothers, they attempted this, I think, with Hulu, and I think it was Hulu. It
Mhm.
it I just don't think it has the same reach and level as Netflix. So and again, I don't think it worked. Like, the reality show of it didn't work for him. And so I think that, again, this is an inflection point, and I think for him to take his stardom to another level, this is a move, and to step away from YouTube gets notoriety. Like, I wonder if also leaving YouTube gets him more attention than if he just went to Netflix. You know what I mean?
I think another thing that's interesting about him is what his niche is and when he goes viral, like most recently it was for interviewing Hayden Panettiere, who she wrote a memoir and she's like talking about things. And so he kind of gives the vibe of like it's a therapy session, like, and he's, very like mindful and like emotionally intelligent. So he's gonna ask the right questions. But he's with this Hayden Panettiere move, to me, it seems like he's kind of moving more into like an Alex Cooper territory where it's like, you got the interview. And then that becomes super important if like the interview is on Netflix, where it's like everybody's talking about this. This is what's being clipped. And it's like, if it's been on YouTube, but if it moves, that audience will move with it because they're just going to seek out the interview wherever it exists.
100%. It is definitely less about him and his person and versus who he is interviewing, which I think is also dangerous as well.
From a
Um,
personal brand standpoint, 1,000%.
like, it's unstable.
Yeah, I'm looking at his YouTube channel. It's very interesting. He has 5.6 million subscribers. To just walk away from a channel with that number. But you're totally right. It seems like he follows like a similar format to Armchair Expert, where like they'll alternate between a celebrity, a specialist in like psychology, an expert in something, and they just kind of like ping ball between the two. But just looking at his channel, it's like, he's obviously getting good views. He's getting in the six figures regularly, but then it's his Hayden Panettiere is like the only one recently that cracked 1.4 million views.
Well, and let's be real, they're all following the Howard Stern model. Like, they're trying to follow Howard, and Howard, like, over the years, he is such a, again, he's just OG. Like, he carved the path, he kind of defined it. He really, like, I think, took serious to the next level, like when that first happened for him many years ago. Like, he's like the HBO of radio. And I think if you were to talk to Howard and his team too, like, for many, many years, they've tried to create this like team of like other personalities and voices to fill all the time between when you have a big celebrity. And so I think it can work. Um, I guess all of it is to say is that, wait, does it say what he's going to be doing on Netflix? Is it just like, is
It's
it
just his podcast.
it's a continuation of it? It's like a
Yeah,
video podcast.
exactly. Yeah. It'll just be exclusive. The vodcast will only be available on Netflix, and the audio will only be available on Spotify.
Do we know anything about how vodcasts do on Netflix, or is that still like new?
I think it's still new. I'm so curious. Like, are people actually watching like therapists like Jake Shanes or like Pete Davidson? I don't even really see like clips of them
Either.
on
No.
my
Like,
TikTok feeds, you know?
and I wonder if, like, does Netflix have an app for the phone where you are like, it's an audio experience?
I don't think
Like, I wonder if they're like, this is
We
that. I
have
mean,
it
obviously,
now. I don't know if it's on the phones, but I saw it on my TV where it was like you can cycle through short form video to pick a
yeah.
show.
Well, I just wonder, like, are they going for, I mean, it's like, is part of Netflix's MO to go for like the Spotify, Apple podcast
Oh yeah, they have clips.
clips, or like,
You
or
scroll
can you
through.
listen to like a whole episode? Because that's when, I mean, I would think most people are listening to podcasts in their car, but I don't know.
I know that's the thing. They have the whole episode. And I know we talked about this when they first launched podcasts. It was like suspected this was a workaround, like their version of like a late night show without having to deal with like unions. They just call them podcasts, but like they're basically the equivalent of a late night show, at least what they're doing with, like Pete Davidson right now.
It makes a ton of sense if you are Netflix and you're doing their spaghetti on the wall model where you just need quantity, like you need a lot. And podcasts are really low production cost and you can churn them out. So it makes a lot of sense. Um, I mean,
But
I can see this totally working. Like this can totally work. Like, and I wonder if they're also like maybe the distribution will be through. Like, if you're on Netflix, can you still get like the audio distributed to, you know how they always say, like, wherever you get your podcast and it blasts out to everywhere? Does it go like if you're on, maybe they even do a portion of it. Like that would be smart. So it's available everywhere, but you have to like watch the whole thing on Netflix.
yeah, I'll be interested to see like I doubt they'll ever release it, but the listening and like streaming numbers for these and like how it can impact these podcasts in terms of like advertisers, you know, how they'll be able to like charge advertisers for spots on their episodes. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this works out for him. Okay, similar vein, media, our final topic, Glamour Magazine. This is very new. So New York Times just released an article at today, this morning, at Glamour, a once mighty magazine, a skeleton crew churns out shopping